All right. Things look good to go. Sound check. Doing good. Background noise is slightly muted. There might be some kiddo noise, so apologies if that happens.
Yep.
Like
No.
hybrid kids?
Hybrid kids, normal kids. Take your pick. It's all good.
So
We love kids either way.
especially if they're cooked right.
Dude.
Yeah, really, dude.
All right.
I was gonna do the ogre
Yeah.
thing and say, who needs them cooked?
Oh, dang, I was meant to get that on before it was recorded.
Oh,
Everybody,
whoops.
let me know if you have a question and if you'd like to get in the queue for the questions in the chat, please. Thank you.
Yes,
You know
please.
I got questions.
Ray is definitely doing all the organization of questions. All right, give me just a bit. Greetings, salutations, and hello. We thank you all for being here for this co-creation in this session. As always, we appreciate each one of yours participation and membership in this community. You are very appreciated. One of the things that has been going around in the so-called spiritual community of late is this concept of a simulation. Is reality just a simulation? Well, on some levels, on some perspectives, yes, it is. But as you can hear from other sources, it is your simulation, the simulation that your soul is creating to have a particular experience. We would prefer to think of this simulation and encourage you to think of this simulation as a game, something which is fun to play. By saying game, we do not in any way mean to trivialize the concept of your physical reality. We are simply impressing upon you that if you can have a particular approach, a particular attitude, that your reality is an experience that can be fun, can be enjoyable. We would highly encourage you to do this. Many of you have experienced the so-called 3D, and just like you would play a game and to begin to experience new rules, new ways of interacting with the game system, consider perhaps you are moving from physical reality 3.0 to 4.0, a new version, new mechanics to explore, new systems to play with. And we highly encourage you to take that attitude, to have that element of play, fun, enjoyment. It is your reality, your co-creation. You did not create this experience, for the most part, to have a safe time. It is about having a zest for life, following your passions, following your bliss, and taking every bit of enjoyment that you can out of it, for you will have no other experience exactly like this one. We have a suggestion for the interactions for this evening of a slightly different nature than we typically do in these sessions. If you would like to, we would like to play a little game. As we interact with all of you, we will pause for a moment before you begin your questioning to utter some kind of phrase that we are perceiving. After we have uttered the phrase, it may be something as silly as snorkeling kitten, or lawn gnome. We encourage you to either change your question to talk about the phrase that we utter, or if you so choose, you may disregard it entirely and continue with your original question. We ask that, Ray, you help to coordinate this as people take this new perspective of how we wish to interact tonight in mind. We would like to have as many opportunities to speak with each of you and give each of you the opportunity to interact with us in this playstyle. Does this sound agreeable to everyone here?
Yes.
Lots of nods, yes.
Most excellent. Then let the game begin. We will pause and await your questions.
Hello, Ajax.
Hello, one moment, one moment. Purple Cetacean.
Thank you. One moment. Thank you for that phrase. My questions today, first of all, thank you for last time, the last interaction we had. It
You're
was
welcome.
interesting. Thank you. It was interesting to see how easily I forgot myself. So, yeah, looking forward to more interactions. So, my
Do not
question,
take offense. We apologize for interrupting. Do not take offense, for the experience that you are playing in is one of forgetting. Remember.
yes, I do not take offense at all. I have chosen to not be offended in this life experience anymore. But it was interesting listening back to that exchange, and it was very rewarding for me. So, thank you for your participation in that.
And thank you for yours.
Thanks. So, I wanted to ask what you brought up last time in the alphabetical order of how we interact in your reality of being wibbly wobbly. How old are you currently in the way we count time?
321.
Were you born a physical or quasi physical being?
Yes, quasi-physical would be more appropriate, but we have physical attributes, but
So,
it can be melded, refined, temporarily
uh,
suspended as we wish.
so in your civilization, there are those of you who are about 1,000 years old by our counting, and they're about maybe 4 at least. Are you one of those?
No comment.
On
Right now, we are 321.
Milo, your turn.
Thank you. I initially was going to ask a question about the role of play, but you've
Yes.
playfully preempted me. So
One
now
moment.
I have no agenda and I'm still talking. So help me out here, please, Ajax.
One moment. One moment. Jade Buddha.
Indubitably, indubitably.
What would you like to discuss?
For want of something else, I was reading today about the mythological Ajax and the role of his shield in protecting the people that were on his side, and how amazing his power was, and how strong his personal integrity was. And I would love to know more about your selection of that title for yourself, Ajax, or is it our selection?
It is the selection that the channel has made on a impression that we gave in a what you would call download. The term Ajax is multifaceted to our amusement and the channels as is being discovered, in the sense that the channel is a computer scientist and works with code. Ajax is some form of computer code technology. It is also a commercial cleaning solution used in your world to wipe clean surfaces, and we, in the role of a teacher, often enjoy to squeaky clean those belief systems of the individuals that we interact with. Additionally, Ajax, as you have synchronistically brought here, is a archetype of a protector, a guide, and this attributes well to us.
I found myself very much liking Ajax when I read about some of the mythological attributes, and so if I was wearing a hat, I would be taking it off to you. Thank you.
We tip our bald heads in your direction.
Likewise.
All right, Ajax, I have a question. I know in our universe, our reality, our science tries, go ahead, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to wait for your turn.
Please allow us to commence with the game. A gemstone deep in the earth, erupting through a volcano into a tropical island.
I'll play. Please let me know more.
How do you feel that this relates to you?
It sounds to me like it's a type of geode or something along those lines. And I have quite a few of those in my basement and scattered around my home.
A multifaceted geode, which has, from the depths of the earth, been submitted and under great pressure to creating the gemstone that it is. Now erupting forth onto a surface level, a disclosed level, and allowing all to see its multifaceted attributes, perfection and beauty in its creation.
That's wonderful. Is that an analogy of sort that's applicable to me?
What do you think? Of course.
I'm going for it. Hey, thank you so much.
You are most welcome.
Jeffrey? We'll move on to Luis.
I'm all for the game.
One moment, one moment. A Phoenician rowboat. Would you like to discuss the image?
Masters, they were masters of trade and very effective at making friends and disseminating their understanding of the world.
Indeed.
Very, very good at networking. And they were able for a long time to exist because they were able to deal with people that were not necessarily too friendly. Of course, circumstances ultimately roll over them, but they did phenomenally well and develop many things for their time.
Yes.
And I
Master laborers, master tradesmen, skilled in the economic arts of trade and diplomacy. Obviously, some elements
great
of shipwrightery and building.
great interpolators.
Quite so.
So they obviously listen and figure out the angle they needed to take to deal with whoever they had in front of them.
Yes.
As a group of people, they did that very well. So I appreciate that because since my early youth, I have attempted to develop that set of skills, and I see it in the now as being something that is very important to my existence in
We
this now.
appreciate your appreciation.
Thank you.
And in this particular moment, you have a very strong connection to a counterpart who lived in that time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Always felt a certain beauty in my heart when the word Phoenician came into my awareness. So I can relate that to, yes, a very close counterpart. I appreciate the information on that as well.
You are welcome. And we encourage you to expand this newfound connection.
Thank you. I will do that for sure. I will yield to my next person. The game is a good game.
Indeed.
Thank you so much, Ajax.
You are welcome.
Go, Miles.
I was waiting for Ajax to give me the.
Yes. One moment. We are waiting for you to start speaking.
I apologize. Now I understand.
One moment. One moment. An orator speaking from a podium, delivering profound information to a mass populace.
God, that's my soul. I feel that in every part of my body, every bone in my body. And as I get up in the morning and do my morning walk, I'm speaking, I'm rehearsing what I'm going to speak on that week. Trying to keep it short, but the biggest gift I can deliver in a short time. And I'm sky high while I'm doing it. I just feel so much energy rushing through me that it's absolutely intoxicating. I remember I was in 7th grade listening to my teacher when I knew that was who I was. And I also knew that I wasn't going to teach in school at the same time.
We ask you to remember this particular comment that you made. When we reach the end of the game, we will be delivering to you all the reasoning for why we are saying the things that we are.
Thank you.
Your light emanates quite brightly.
Thank you.
You are most welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Ajax.
Hello. One moment, one moment. A wizard casting a spell in battle with a dragon.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm curious to know more about the dragon, if you could expand on that.
Well, there are many things that the symbology of the dragon represents. We can dig more deeply into this perhaps at another time, but in this short interaction, we would ask, what is the most significant aspect of the dragon as it pertains to you in this now?
It's really funny because the symbolic of the dragon, there's actually dragons helping me in the spiritual realm, and the wizard is an archetype that I identify strongly with.
Yes, the accumulation of that arcane knowledge, that understanding of the mechanics of the system of reality in which you are living, experiencing, gaming.
And is there more information you could expand on regarding the casting spell on dragon?
Well, it is the evocation of that knowledge into action that you are performing in the circumstance to achieve a desired result, not necessarily with a certain expectation, other than that you are going with the flow of the battle in that particular scene. But the spelling, the power of using the knowledge which you have accumulated for beneficial or other purposes.
Thank you so much for that perspective. I I connect a lot with that terminology, casting spells, and it's a nice synchronicity that it came out again tonight. Thank you, Ajax.
Indeed, you are most welcome. And if you will, consider also that spelling is more than just the evocation of arcane constructs, but also the words which you speak and the effects that they have upon those other individuals.
Yes, totally. That's exactly what I was relating to.
No?
Hi, Ajax. Nice to chat with you.
Hello. One moment. One moment. One moment. A bridge of rainbow-colored light spiraling upwards towards the heavens, and then splitting off into multiple pathways, raining down into different realities.
Okay.
That's beautiful. I feel like since I am pursuing channeling, that reminds me of the blended threads of consciousness coming together, but also then splitting off into their individuated realities and then sharing information back and forth and being part of the
Yes.
system, but then also being the individual within that system.
Much like the mythological Yggdrasil tree of life branching out from a common core, you, through your channel, are starting to branch out into all these different realities. It may be no surprise that soon you may find that others in those realities start channeling you.
It's interesting you say that because up to this point, my channeling has been kind of a more of a not how to say it, kind of like a solution with all these different elements in it, but blended together as my higher mind. And I've been wondering if it'll branch out into other entities, something more specific, like, oh, now I'm channeling this aspect or that aspect.
Is it something you wish to explore, to fragment in that faction, or are you happy with the homogeneous current circumstance?
I would like to have more contact with individuated aspects because I'm absolutely curious about their individuated experiences as those aspects.
Excellent. Absolutely. Then this is most possible for you, of course.
Awesome. Thank you for the confirmation.
You are most welcome.
Jeffrey?
Can you hear me?
Barely.
Speak up. Speak up.
Can anybody hear me? Curious.
Yes, we can hear you, although if you can get closer to the microphone, it will help.
All
Very
right.
faint.
Good to be heard. I'm a first timer here. I'm known as Curious Jeffrey.
Excellent. One moment. One moment. One moment. A stallion galloping through the field, jumping through blazing fires, fierce eyes.
Is that Sagittarius?
Do you believe it is?
That's my sign.
How synchronous. What would you like to discuss?
Well, I'm curious about a lot of things and I'm ready for a lot of things. What am I not ready for?
What is not occurring in your reality that you wish to? There's your answer.
There's plenty.
Is it something that you are hoping to manifest, or do you have a particular reason for holding it back? Holding it away, to rephrase.
I'm not sure. On this level, I'm not sure.
We challenge that statement. Pick perhaps a particular thing that you would like to see manifest. Give an example.
You know, I am looking for new friendships, new loves, new experiences, excitement that doesn't cause me pain.
And what is concerning to you about the pain with these experiences?
Well, I have a big mouth at times, get myself in trouble when I'm looking for excitement. I don't want to offend anybody, but I don't want to do harm to myself either.
But why does that bring you pain?
I'm not sure. I'm sure, but I'm not sure.
We might suggest to you that it is your reluctance to express your truth and the judgments of your truth that you are concerned with that is leading to this pain that you might be experiencing. As you are transitioning deeper and deeper into this 4D, raising your vibration, to so speak, it is a necessary component to live in your truth as much as you can. Else, you will find yourself constricting yourself by the restrictions of that fear in those judgments. We have delivered a framework in a previous transmission which might be useful to you, called a cycle of belief amplification, that expresses how you start with a very simple alignment to a particular belief, and then it builds upon itself, spiraling, 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 increasing, amplifying. This may be something that is happening in your experience.
Thank you. I think I get that.
You are welcome. And we would also like to point out to you that look where you are right now. There are faces in this particular meeting, ours included, so to speak, that might be a community that you can expand into as some of those new experiences you are so helping to manifest.
Well, thank you.
You are most welcome.
Mr. Chuck?
Hello, Ajax. It's very nice to be with you tonight.
Hello. One moment. One moment. One moment. A field mouse holding a kernel of corn, taking it back to its family to share, even though its belly is rumbling.
Well, that's very, very evocative symbolism. To me, it speaks of the desire that I have to feed other individuals. And I wonder a little bit, maybe you could expand on this, because in that regard, it doesn't necessarily feel to me as though I leave myself out in that regard. Although the symbolism seems to perhaps suggest that. Or perhaps that the feeding will happen once the kernel is shared with the others. So I'm wondering.
To the whole.
Yes. So that's the impression I have in what you shared.
Absolutely. And trust that impression. Use that discernment that you are oh so familiar with. You, in your service to the whole, are also improving yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
It is slightly tricksterous of us in this moment in that we've presented the particular symbolism in a way that may seem to some who would listen as very altruistic and not being able to receive that which was given. However, something that is more a deeper truth here is that in feeding the whole, the family, the whole is served, and you really have a little stash off to the side.
Yes, absolutely. And I've felt for a long time that due to our connectivity, all of us, that as you quote unquote feed others, it does of course affect you.
Absolutely. It is your game that you are playing.
Yes, it is. And it is quite fun.
Quite so.
Thank you.
You are most welcome.
Come and play, Zalay.
Thank you. Ajax, I'm ready to play the game, but before that, in your civilization, do you have the ability to lock somebody into a simulation that they then cannot tell whether it's a simulation or not?
We are so pleased that you asked this question. For one of the passions that we have as a Sassani being is that we can create experiences for others to play in. And those experiences, while they are living them, aren't exactly as if they do not know that they are a altered experience, but it feels fully embodied, fully present, and they allow themselves to temporarily feel as if it is the only thing that exists. This is a particular mechanism which has communicated through other channels is used to train some of the first contact specialists. Our particular passion, my particular passion, is in using this ability to create games that others can play in and enjoy.
Okay, thank you. I have more questions, but I'll move on to the purple cetacean that you mentioned
Yes,
earlier.
please do.
Well, you said it, so
Well, it is a game, and the particular rules of this game that we are playing with you now is that you must tell us what glimmer of connection you feel to this phraseology that we are delivering, and then, and only then, will we expand upon it.
purple has to do with the last conversation we had
Yes,
into the expansion of your civilization and our civilization into what the future holds. And the Cetacean Nation, as one of our equals on our planet, I have been having a deeper desire to connect with them and to raise my children with a deeper connection of them when I have children.
okay. And what is perhaps stopping you from doing this?
From having children?
From following your desire to have deeper connection with the civilization and other civilizations?
Where I live is a little too cold for them to come up, so we don't have that many interactions. And I used to go into the sea quite often year round the last 2 years, but I was advised not to do cold therapy anymore, but to move into hot therapy. So just my geographical location.
We see. Well, can you not travel to other locations where you can have these interactions?
This year I'm hoping to travel some more for sure.
Is that exciting to you?
Absolutely. It's been so long since I traveled. It's really exciting, but the place where I'm called to go is not on the coast. It does not have a sea. Oh, the sea does have is very cold, and but I'm called to go there.
Then by all means, please do so. You may find that you begin to develop connections to those of the Cetacean Nation. And as you expressed earlier, this heart-based opening will allow you to form that connection initially and expand upon it. But what you should really be striving for at the moment is the elevation of this connection to a both blue throat chakra level and then more purplish third eye level and beyond.
So I don't have to physically be with them in order to connect
Hold
in the
up,
world.
Sylvie. You're overstepping your boundaries. We got to get more people in. But he can answer if
Apologies.
he'd like to.
We will conclude this particular conversation with you with the simple thought that although you may initially need to begin from that physical interaction, once you've made that connection, it will be a permission slip for you to have it no matter where you are.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
You are most welcome.
Hi, Ajax.
Hello.
Hello. I have a question that has to do with the simulation and the
Yes.
infinite possibilities that are built into a simulation. And so I'm going to take it to timelines, and they're infinite. And infinite many, infinitely close to each other at any given moment, an infinity of possibilities. And also they're counterparts in those timelines.
Yes,
Increasingly, I'm becoming aware of more and more and more and more.
of course.
And as I hear something, I may resonate very quickly and realize. So the question has to do with the last couple of weeks. It's become to me that I may have very active counterparts in a multitude of high power places in spaceships of various different races. And at the same time, I'm having counterparts on Earth, some of which are beginning to try to feed information or have effect, I guess. Or maybe I'm just feeling the effect of what they're doing as I'm tuning into it. But it is in a very fast expanding number of possibilities. And I'd like to get a little bit of a glimpse from your perspective as to what is a good way of integrating what is relevant.
Whatever your imagination leads you to, whatever your passion and excitement leads you to. From our particular perspective, all realities are possible. So all of these counterparts that you can possibly imagine and many more exist. You will use that imagination channel to access the reality of those counterparts and exchange information and energy with them. So as you guide yourself through your excitement to connect with these different beings, you will increase your communion, increase your association with these things. Because all realities are real, of course, you would be able to have counterparts who are floating just above your head, so to speak. One of the things that most people do not realize, and we are able to deliver in this moment, is that the Sassani civilization is not as if it lives in one reality. We have members of our civilization that exist in very similar realities, but we are also able to speak with and communicate other Sassani civilizations in other realities, as long as they are within alignment to us, are relevant to us. It is a multi-dimensional civilization. And just like you bring up with the timelines, quite infinite.
Thank you. Much appreciated. There's some good information there for me.
You are most welcome. Ray, have we reached the end of the questioners?
No, they're lining up. This is a very popular game and everybody wants to play with Patrick. So thank you, Ajax. We can continue if you can.
We can take 2 more questions. We suggest that you allow those who have not spoken to do so if they wish to.
We'll switch to Miles and JF, and if we can squeeze Tom in, maybe that too. Go ahead. Miles?
Thank you. So I've had some experiences in the last week where I felt a profound shift in my timelines. Now, I'm clearly aware that every instant is a new timeline, a new dimension, a new reality. But I felt like these shifts in my timeline were large. We we worked to make these shifts, and when they happened, they were wonderful and quite surprising.
Yeah.
Can you comment on that? I haven't experienced it before in my life that I was quite as aware of.
Yes. Well, as we have delivered a little bit earlier in our entry topic, you are playing this reality game. So often there will be surprises in twists in the levels that you are exploring. This particular experience that you are speaking to, from our perspective, is simply you beginning to allow yourself to perceive the more fundamental nature of reality. You shift nanosecond to nanosecond, so to speak, from one reality to the next, stringing timelines together endlessly in whichever direction your higher self determines is appropriate, in alignment with the free will of your physical being. You having these large shifts is simply you allowing yourself to experience that mechanism more fully, to more understand that it is the means by which you are experiencing physical reality. You are having bigger jumps. It is not quite as smooth. Time is acting a little bit more wibbly wobbly.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ajax.
You are most welcome.
Yeah.
Yes. I would like to do a second round of the game, Ajax, if you would like to provide me with a few words.
All right. One moment. One moment. A key opening a lock, but inside is a simple stone tablet.
A key opening a lock, and inside it's a small stone tablet.
Correct.
Hmm. What is this tablet made of? What kind of stone?
Granite.
Can you repeat?
Granite.
Granite. Hmm. What's written on the stone? Is there anything written on it?
Know thyself.
Hmm. What is the multidimensional meaning of know thyself?
Beginning to come into awareness of the fact that you are a multidimensional creator being, and you are an aspect of Source which has chosen to forget this in order to experience it from a new, exciting perspective, to be able to gamify the experience and come into new appreciation of yourself and your power.
Why is the stone tablet locked?
Because that is part of the rules of the game. That is part of the game you chose to play. And finding the key, much like a video game character questing around the dungeon, finding the element which will advance them to the next level.
So it's kind of a metaphor for the different levels that we can reach or that we can experience in this lifetime, in this reality.
It can be interpreted that way, yes. It can also be interpreted that you already had this to begin with, and that there was a self-imposing lock placed around it. But you have the key. You can open it back up again.
Can you fit in one more, Ajax?
One moment. Yes, one more question.
Take
Thank
it
you,
away,
AJ.
Tom. You're muted, Tom.
Hi, Ajax. I would like to play the game too.
Hello. Another round for you then.
Indeed. Another
All right.
round.
One moment. One moment. One moment. A plastic figurine soldier placed on the map while the game player rolls the dice and moves them from position to position.
Wow, that's interesting. It's interesting you say that because I'm from Poland and I've been paying attention to the war in Ukraine and kind of seeing like that whole situation playing out and very much seeing like it's these different sides playing. It's like different energies playing out together, but is there anything more you want to expand on that?
Yes, it is more also of the realization that the soldier is not necessarily the one making the actions. They are being moved by a guiding hand.
Exactly. And there's the negative way of looking at that, but then there's also the higher level, which is everything is an orchestration also.
And the soldier, upon realizing that, can also choose not to play anymore.
Indeed.
Will this do?
I think so.
Excellent. We would like to conclude the game now and begin to explain a little bit about why we wanted to play this game with you. When we paused to deliver this phraseology to you in these interactions, what we were doing was attempting to find something which at that particular moment was not particularly active in your vibration. Because we wanted to show you that as a creator being, as a game player, and through your discernment, you have the ability to instantly, like a snap, create associations and connections with these things from your present moment, which will change your past as well as your future. You, as a multidimensional being, bring all of these things into focus while other things fall out of focus as you change your awareness and you follow that thread of excitement. If the particular phrases that we played with you did not have any lasting impact, that is okay. You used your discernment to decide that it was not for you, and in that you have acted in an empowered way. If the phraseology that we brought to you brought a deepened connection that felt like it was there, we are pleased that we could help you discover connections that were always resident within you, and you have now advanced and moved forward with. As always, discernment is appropriate. And as this creator being, you are making your reality, playing the game as you so wish. We thank you all for this interaction, and we have enjoyed it tremendously. So, we are in service to you, and as you continue about your experiences, game on. Ave.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you,
Thank you
Thank
very
Ajax.
you.
much, Ajax.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Thank you.
That was good stuff.
Holy
Very good stuff.
shit, Christian. That was fantastic. Wow, that's the best game show I've ever been a part of.
That's the only game show I've been a part of, but it was the best.
Me too.
Yes, really.
Did you have any idea that this was coming up? I know you said it was something special, but
Yeah, so I got a download a little bit earlier this week that Ajax wanted to play a little game, and I was like, oh dear, what does that mean?
Cool.
I was just like, okay, I gotta let people know that this one's gonna be a little bit different because it feels very different.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also worked through some limiting beliefs a little bit earlier this week. So
Nice.
it was
Part of the
quite,
game.
quite awesome.
And you know
Yes.
that doesn't surprise me, Chris. So I'm gonna share with you guys something that and it's primarily with this group of individuals that I've seen this. So each of you, when you've channeled, there is a black mass that I see that moves around your head and your shoulders, and it varies in size. I don't see it if you're not channeling. Like if Chris is just at a regular session, I don't see it. It's only when he channels. Same thing with Tom tonight and others. I don't see it unless that's going on. And Chris, it was like almost 3 times as large as what it was the last time you channeled. And it's there now. And it's especially it was around over your right shoulder to our left. And then there was a little bit that was showing up every now and then, sort of a small circular part right above the crown chakra area, back of your head.
Wow.
Also, there was something, it seemed to feel like, so there's a chakra that's at the base of the skull that's supposed to be associated with allowing this type of energy in. And to me, it seemed to be emanating like a back and forth kind of a thing in that area. So it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Thank you for that perspective.
Yeah. And the energy certainly felt more free flowing, I guess I'll say.
Yeah,
Really cool.
like I said, I had something of a breakthrough a little bit earlier this week, and I'm
Excellent.
guessing you guys are seeing it, so I'm
We're all
appreciating.
reaping the benefits. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
of
That was
course,
nice. It was very fun.
yep. And Luis is going to host the after meeting. If you didn't
Saw
catch
that.
the chat for that link, for those of you who can stay up.
Awesome.
But
I'll
like to.
probably join the after meeting a little bit later. I gotta get some stuff, but I'll join you guys.
And
Thank you
kudos,
all so much for joining us tonight.
yep. And
Judging by
kudos
the
to
past
Leslie
after
for her
meetings,
help.
we'll be there for a while, Christian.
Awesome.
Okay. All right.
Guys,
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Much love to you,
And
Christian. Thank
everybody.
you so much.
Hope everybody's going on the after meeting. I'll be right there.